Hey guys, Scott Beebe with the Business on Purpose platform. Happy Thursday to everybody. I cannot believe I'm saying that. This week has absolutely flown by, and if you're not aware, yesterday was the halfway point of February, the second month of 2017. So this is an incredibly fast 2017 so far. And the last couple of Facebook Lives, I believe I've talked about things related to culture within your business, and not only what culture is, if you go back and look at a couple of weeks ago, but also earlier this week I talked about I got asked by a client, can you delegate culture? And I thought it was a brilliant question because he's trying to figure out, what do I do as it relates to culture in the business? Then this week, you know what I've been asked over and over and over again this week? Is ownership. Should I bring in a partner? Should I bring in a co-owner? What should I do within the business as it relates to equity partnership, decision partnership, all those sorts of things within the business? What should I do around that? How should it work? What should the structure be of how I actually lay that thing out? And so I thought I would talk to you a little bit about what we've seen and just give you some insight from what I've seen this week that might be able to help you, if you're a small business owner, to figure out if you should bring on some fractional owner, part owner, 50-50 owner, all those sorts of things. So let me give you a couple of principles right away. You know, Dave Ramsey, he runs the Ramsey Group out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he has the Dave Ramsey Show and does the Financial Peace University, and most people know him as kind of the money guy, right? Dave Ramsey, I heard him say one time, the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. And I have to tell you, in the time that I've had the privilege of being able to coach business owners, I could tell you that that has pretty much held true in that amount of time that I've helped small business owners. And when we're trying to liberate small business owners from the chaos of working in their business, one of the most chaotic moments for so many small business owners is when we come to find out that they actually have a partner. Now, for those of you in partnerships, don't be offended. I'm just telling you what I see, not what I think, okay? So here's what I see, is that when you've got a 50-50 ownership, most businesses are not naturally bent with clarity in their roles and in their organization. That's partly why we exist, is to help bring that clarity within the business. And so most businesses don't have that clarity. And when you don't have that clarity, and you've got two people that you're having to mesh personalities and mindsets with, and all the accentuations that go with that, then it necessarily leads to explosion sometimes. So 50-50 partnerships, from what I've seen, rarely work well. I didn't say they rarely work. I said they rarely work well. There's usually a lot of tension that goes with it. I've got a couple of clients that I've had in the past, and some that I have now, that are actually going through buyouts where they're buying out their partner, but not because they don't like their partner, but because they don't like working with their partner. And those are two very, very different things. You can have friends, you can have partners that you work with, but you may not like working with them because of what we talk about a lot as it relates to the personalities and the disc personalities and all those sorts of things. So with that being said, when it comes to partnerships, here's a quick thing that I've seen. Number one is you want to try as best you can to be the sole owner of the business, unless there is strategic rationale to have a partner. For instance, connections into an existing market that are going to last for a long period of time. Connections into some sort of I don't want to call it deep pockets because I'm not a big fan of doing financing or things like that either, but they've got to bring some strategic value if you're going to have them in the partnership. So let me show you two partnerships that work really well from what I've seen. This is, again, just from my experience. Number one is a partnership where it is a 50-50 partnership, but there are two businesses involved in the umbrella of the partnership. And each of the partners has 100% leadership of an individual business. So if you've got business A and business B, then you have two partners, but those 50-50 partners are 50-50 in business A, 50-50 in business B, but only one of them wholly runs the CEO, the day-to-day operations of business A. And then vice versa, and the other runs the operation of business B. That situation I've seen work well if there's great maturity within the owners. The other situation I've seen work very well is if you've got more of a passive business owner who starts the business. So if you're familiar with the DISC profile, if you have a CS or an SC who starts the business, they're more prone to passive nature. Now, it means they're very gifted in certain areas, but they're not very adept at pushing the organization forward. Or if they're a high S, they'll just give the business away, right? They'll say, yeah, I'll give you a discount, discount, discount. Next thing you know, they're broke, okay? So we don't want that. What we want instead is we want a business that runs with great precision, all right? Great process. That's what we do, is we help people articulate their vision, mission, values, systems, and processes. But if it's a passive personality, then you want to potentially bring in a partner who's got a more dominant trait. But there has to be great clarity and understanding in what the two roles are going to do within the partnership. Outside of that, I'm not real interested in a partnership. Now, there's some other things that people have been exploring here lately that are interesting to me. One is where you want to have somebody buy into the business at a partnership level, but they do it at a very low rate, 3%, 5%, 7%, something like that. Rarely do I recommend just giving them the equity into the business, but instead they buy into the equity. Now, there's a lot of different ways they can buy into the business. You can finance it. They can get money from somewhere out of their bank account or whatever to come into the business and do that. Now, what does that mean? Typically, when you do owner draws and distributions, you're going to give them that fragment of the percent. Now, if you want to draw them into the business forever, you can do that. But you can also talk with a business attorney, and there are some people exploring the idea of actually drawing them as a partner, but as soon as if they were to quit the business, then they would necessarily have to resell their shares back to the business. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but here's the bottom line as it relates to ownership. If you've started a business, try to run the business yourself unless there is a strategic reason, and man, that thing's got to be good and strong, a strategic reason for you to then go and expand the business. So those are just some thoughts about ownership that I've seen from my time in conference rooms with small business owners. I thought that might be helpful for you, and I hope that does give you some insight. Feel free to reach out to us. You can find us at mybusinessonpurpose.com, where we're there every day helping liberate small business owners from the chaos of working in their business. That's what we love to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump off because we're about to do it again with somebody else. See ya.